Okay, let's see what more shocking than Milgram have to show.
Hello, I'm Ellie.
And I'm Hannah.
Our group is called More Shocking Than Milgram's Experiment.
Welcome to our psychology video for our teacher, Mr. Stroud.
Today we will be talking to you about the definitions of abnormality. I hope that we get good marks, wink wink, nudge nudge.
Don't let your kids watch it!
Statistical infrequency.
Statistical infrequency is when an individual has a less common characteristic than most people. An example could be people who are depressed.
This graph shows the statistical infrequency of IQ levels. People who score near the middle of the bell curve are considered as normal, whereas those who score low or extremely high on the graph are considered abnormal. Deviation from social norms.
Deviation from social norms refers to behavior that is different from the accepted standards of society. Society often makes a collective judgment about what is perceived as normal. For example, to many people, having rainbow hair, lots of piercings and lots of tattoos would not be considered normal to some people.
Here are some more examples of abnormal behavior. Some norms are only specific to culture. Social norms are different in places with different cultures. This picture shows a child marriage. In England, this would go against social norms and would be illegal. However, in countries such as India, this is considered socially normal.
Are you sure about that?
Failure to function adequately.
Failure to function adequately. This refers to when someone becomes unable to cope with everyday life. David Rossium and Martin Seligman, 1989. When a person no longer conforms to interpersonal rules, for example maintaining eye contact and being aware of personal space. Experiencing severe personal distress when a person's behavior becomes extremely irrational and becomes dangerous to themselves.
Deviation from mental health.
Deviation from mental health refers to when someone does not meet the criteria set for good mental health.
Jahad in 1958 made a set of criteria that would allow someone to see if they were in good mental health. This list includes no symptoms or distress, we are rational and are able to accurately perceive ourselves. Self-actualization is possible. We are able to cope with stress. We are able to have a realistic view on the world. We are able to have self-esteem and lack guilt. We are able to be independent.
It's so fat!
Okay, let's see what the last team have for us. Here we go.
So, behavioural treatments of phobias. There's two.
we got systematic desensitisation and flooding. So, let's start with a bit of SD, systematic desensitisation. So it's developed by this guy called Walp back in '58. Are there any songs about that? Don't think so. No. Right. So he developed it as a treatment for phobias, and basically it's classical conditioning, and what they do is you can't feel two things at the same time. You can't feel fear and relaxed. So they overwrite the fear with relaxation. It's called reciprocal inhibition. Yeah, that's the word. So this is how it works. Client learns relaxation techniques. So they learn to relax by deep breathing. Some do some meditation. Some do what they like, how they relax. Each to their own. And then the next step, they work out their hierarchy of fear from least threatening to most threatening. So if you had I don't know, a fan, you could be scared of fans. I don't know if that's a real thing, but it could be. And your least thing could be seeing a picture of a fan or seeing a video of a fan in use. And then the most fearful thing would actually being sat near a fan that's in use. So after you've got your hierarchy, you, as the client, you'd work through the relaxation techniques whilst it's in your presence. So with the fan, you'll be meditating or deep breathing whilst the fan's in your face, basically. The number of sessions required to do this can vary depending on the person and how strong your phobia is. And this has to be done by a qualified practitioner, because otherwise it's probably not going to end well, so keep that in mind. It works. That's always a positive. It works. And the clients have to be counter-conditioned, so they have to learn a new response to the stimulus. Basically, you just classical condition to a better response to the fan. Also, they no longer from doing this, they no longer associate the object with fear. So, yeah, that's basically what it is. So the three processes involved is the hierarchy, from your most scared, your least scared to your most scared, your relaxation techniques, and then you're exposed to it with your relaxation techniques trying to overtake the anxiety. Yeah. So, evaluation, it's effective. That's always a good thing. It reduces the phobic behaviour, but there's always a but. It's not the same as a cure, obviously, so it's not that great. Some phobias can get worse again after a few months as well, so you might need to go back to find a cure or to help yourself again, because that's what you do. That's what you've got to think about, helping yourself. It also, there's another problem. It works better with some phobias than others. So for example, it's not going to work that well with a social phobia. If you're scared of big crowds, you never know. It's probably not going to get better from doing this, because you're not really going to get any closer than just going straight in, really. It's been used with patients who suffer from OCD, and 60% of the patients improve. That's a study done by Coma in 2002, so still works. Still works to this day. We're going to move on to some flooding. Don't you just love flooding?
A lot.
Yeah, I love that. Just don't get flooded though, because that could cause a problem. So this involves overwhelming the individual's senses with whatever is causing their anxiety. So if you're scared of chairs, go into a room full of chairs, and that's classed as flooding. I just saw chairs, that's where that came from. This isn't a step-by-step build-up, it literally, you're just thrown in at the deep end. So, works better for some people than others, because some people will not do this. Yeah, so that's basically what you do. You just get chucked in at the deep end. The person at stake is Like, they usually have extreme anxiety, sometimes even have some panic attacks when they see these things. But like, after they've been chucked in the room, they get locked in there. You cannot escape. It is literally, you cannot escape because you are locked in. Like, usually in there for about 20 minutes, half hour. For the first 5 minutes, you're sort of like hyperventilating, getting scared, but then you get over it, really. It's sort of what happens, really. But yeah, so they don't have a choice to confront their fears. This also links with classical conditioning because they sort of realise that they're not actually in danger. So like, if you were scared of dogs, you get locked in a room with a dog. It would probably be a nice dog, not a vicious one though, because that would not work. And you sort of realise like, oh yeah, it's not actually gonna bite me. So that's what happens. It's harmless, basically, to a point. Like, it has to be done with a practitioner again because obviously like, it's got a bit of problems there, but they'll make sure you don't get hurt. So that's always a positive. Yeah. Some evaluations of this is it's discomforting. It can be frightening and discomforting and it's only used as a last resort when all the other treatments has failed. So, but it's effective for simple phobias. That is not very effective for big ones. Like if you're scared of social crowds, again, you're not just going to get chucked in with one because you don't know what they're going to do. Yeah, pretty much. That's that one. Oh, also, you've got a big ethical question or debate here. It depends is the great answer for this, because they haven't really got a right to withdraw, but they know that when they give the consent. But still, you might feel like on the day, no, don't want to do this, but you're already stuck in, so you don't really get a choice. But yeah. And all patients usually get a choice of the SD or flooding. But that's that. Great.
Okay, now it's your turn to vote. If you look down here on the link, there's a link to SurveyMonkey, which has a poll on it. Okay, the phones will be open till the 30th of June, and then I'll be able to reward the winner.
But if you close your eyes.
Okay, let's finish with meme of the week then. So here it is.
Forever young, I won't